Peace, family, peace, 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 peace. We are gonna, you know, give everybody some time to get up in here. Hey, sis, Dr. Shakirah is in the building with us. So I will. Hey, 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 hey. What did I just do? I'm calling somebody? Oh, my bad, girl. I don't know what I just did. I'm gonna send you the invite again. How's everybody feeling on this Thursday?
Hey, peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I
Yes.
can. Yeah, I
Let
can
me
see
make sure.
you.
Nice to see you too. Yes. Thank you for
And
having me on.
of course, my pleasure. I've been excited about this conversation all week because I know we were doing the whole spiritual alchemy thing. We didn't really get a chance to talk, and I missed you like
I
on the
know.
day.
Yes, it was so busy that day.
Oh, all right. Good problems, right? Good
Yes,
problems.
right. Exactly.
So we're just gonna give people like maybe like another 3 or 4 minutes to get into the room, get comfortable and stuff. And
Absolutely.
apparently, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. How's your
So how
weekend
you feeling today?
going?
Say it again?
Yeah, I said, wonderful. Well, my week has been going well, and today I'm doing wonderful. Had a nice workout,
Yes.
and yeah, man, I've been doing a lot of cardio lately, and it just helps you feel alive, especially in the morning. And
Mhm.
for me, and for anybody who's probably running a business or anything, it gives you opportunity to put your mind over your body, your emotions, and your mood. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
good way to start. So yeah, I'm good. Long story short, how are
absolutely.
you?
I'm well, give thanks. Same here. Started off my day with cardio.
Mm-hmm.
Like
See,
5 miles I have to every day. So it's
running or walking?
jogging and walking with the
Nice.
weight vest. Girl, that weight
Ooh.
vest. It is no joke.
Ooh.
I
Were you
be
going up and down
drenched.
hill?
Say it
Were
again.
you on? Were you like walking natural terrain, or were you on like a treadmill, or how were you
Natural
doing?
terrain.
Ooh,
Outside in that
yeah,
sun.
yeah. Good
Tan
job.
is
I was in my
tanning.
garage. I was in my
Yes.
garage on extreme step. I don't know if y'all did extreme step yet, extreme hip hop step, but get on it, honey.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So
what's that? Oh,
yeah,
I gotta check that
yeah,
out.
it's like my computer's done that. It's like kind of like a ratchet step. You're like doing it to like little bootsy music and stuff like that. But it's like all these. It's really, really good cardio. So they have taken the regular aerobic step workout and jazzed it up. You know what I mean? And it's the steps are a little tricky sometimes, so it helps your cognitive ability to like coordinate and move. And it's cool. It's cool. It's fun. It's
Okay,
fun.
definitely. That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for everybody who's joining us, welcome. And it's crazy because I was expecting to do podcasts like this when I first decided to do the series, but I have been working on a podcast called the Shaman Chic series, and this is going to be part of it. So thank you for being a part of the Shaman Chic podcast, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today we have Dr. Shakirah Moore, master iridologist, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So just tell the people a little bit about you. Introduce yourself to the good folk.
Absolutely. And for those who've been following me, know my story already of how I got started.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Dr. Shakirah, aka Holistic Healer. I've been teaching and giving iridology consultations for the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I started when my mother, she went to an iridologist around my age, and she had, pains, and doctors couldn't figure it out. And when she finally went to an iridologist, he told her in 2 minutes that it was gallstones.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, wow, I was amazed that someone could look into your eyes and tell you, what the challenge is. When you go to a medical doctor, you're going around the ringer for weeks and weeks and on end in pain. So he gave her a remedy to pass the stones, and no more pain, no more stones. So that inspired me from there. She put me through school, through iridology and naturopath. I graduated from Trinity School of Natural Health. and also the International Circle of Masters. Yes. So
Nice,
that's a little bit of
nice.
my story. I'm also a martial artist as well. So it's a lot to this movie right here.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, welcome. For those who are not familiar with me, my name is Adara Moselle. I am a tantric shaman, master tantric shaman. What I do is I help people tap into their subtle energy body to power the rest of their life, to tap into their real purpose, and to get guidance from their divine self in this life. And I also teach tantric body work, which we have a live class starting July 14th. We also have a free webinar that's coming up July 3rd, and the link is right there pinned if you guys like to join in and hear more about how we can integrate all these things. And that's kind of what this conversation is about today. Like, it seems that tantric body work and iridology would have nothing to do with each other, but y'all are going to see in this conversation how much it really does. You know what I mean? For those, so oh yeah, it's the most dimensional world. If you're on my channel, you're on this thing, you know we go into those conversations. This is a multidimensional universe, and we have holograms, holographic universe, and all of that stuff. And the body is reflected in totality, multiple places in it, right? Mm-hmm. So from the energy body to the eye, to the head, to the ears, to all the reflex maps, all of these are full representations of your whole body, family. So I just want you guys to start having a more cohesive idea about your existence and the wholeness that is required, man. Like, we can't just work in one place and expect everything else just to fall in place. So what Tantra really is a way for us to weave all these things together. It is the braiding technique. That's what Tantra really is. It's not just about sex. Sex is like an amazing part of it because sex is awesome, and when you do it right, it's really awesome, but so is everything else, right? So that's what we're here to do today. We're here to bridge some gaps and, have a sisterly conversation and hopefully impart some wisdom and maybe take a couple questions if y'all have any. And so can you explain iridology? What is iridology?
So I love this topic, understanding the energetic blueprint, right? Because that really, what iridology is really your internal map of your entire health, even potential challenges. So from the time you were in the womb, when the eye and the iris was forming, before the body formed, your iris was already mapped out into every kind of challenge that you can possibly go through in your lifetime, right?
Did not know that.
Say it again.
I did not know that. Good.
Yeah, it's so powerful. The power that we have, but we relinquish it, due to the lack of trust in ourselves, the lack of knowledge that we have about our energetic bodies. And so we any child that comes into this realm, any baby, I'm able to see if their eye, they can hold their eyes, open long enough to see generations of ailments from grandparents to great grandparents and what they can potentially go through in their life. I've seen a 6-month-old child that I said, be careful of their tonsils when they get to a certain age. Be careful not to feed them too much dairy, or be careful with all of those kind of congestive, noxious substances, because that's when around that age, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, is when the lymphatics begin to clog, and then the tonsils become irritated. And what do you know? Doctors want to rip out the tonsils, which is the first line of defense. So the iris shows all of that. It shows your kidneys, it shows your spleen, your liver, everything in the now. So you know how we go to doctors and we have to wait weeks and weeks for a test to come back. Well, you're not waiting when you come to me. It's as soon as the ailment begins to form in the body, it automatically leaves an imprint on the iris. So you're getting your results right then and there. It's just such an amazing science that I constantly will always talk about, will teach about, because I know the power that we have, as humanity. But we don't know these things, so we run in circles, going to doctors and thinking that they know our blueprint. They're only going by, what you tell them. You come in with a headache, and you come in with symptoms, they ask you your symptoms, and then that's when they match the symptoms to the medication.
And you know, it's killing me lately about doctors because I don't go to doctors often, but I go because I'm like, let me just make sure, let me use their top technology. But the
Hmm.
fact that they ask me what my solution should be, I'm like, you are the doctor. Like, you are, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to give you some tools to help you figure out what's going on.
Right.
No desire to understand, no desire to do nothing. Like, crazy, crazy, crazy. Maybe if I
Wow.
had better insurance, I don't know. But, you know,
Yes.
still,
Yeah, yeah.
still. So I
They,
just
yeah.
this is fascinating because I'm very interested in iridology. And the reason why, and this is going to sound odd to people because there is a real science going on here in this tantric bodywork stuff, but it's not studied because people don't put money behind it. So what we found out in the tantric world is that the genital matches the iridology chart. You see what I'm saying? So we're doing like proper yoni massage, or you're doing activations in that area. You can look at the yoni map to see where in your well, the iridology chart to see where in your yoni you're having certain problems, or to target certain organs, certain
Mhm.
emotions. And like I tell people, I'm not gonna pull that thing out because we're on live, but because I have demonstration
Oh, you
tools.
do? You have a chart?
Well, I have a chart on my laptop, but I can't pull that up because I'm on my phone. But I was
Oh,
gonna say I have faux yonis and lingams, so I'm not gonna pull those up because I don't want
oh,
to.
okay, okay.
But just like in your, let's just imagine this. This is the vaginal canal, and this is the lingam, right? This
Mhm.
is the the opening, your vulva,
Mhm.
right? The outside of the vagina. This is your penis tip. I mean, this is the base of your penis, right? Just think about that. As you move up or move back into the cervix or the lingam, you're going to the physical body, mental, emotional body, spiritual body. You see what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
the same way you're able to see that this goes to the liver, you can also see this goes to this part of the emotional body, and this goes to part of the mental body, and this part of the spirit body. And so I'm always interested to learn more about the iridology map, not just in that case, but just so I can understand how this stuff correlates more and more and more. So this is a very fascinating topic to me personally in general. You know, carry on.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Even what you just brought up, you're talking about like just the anatomy of the lingam, and then each part of the lingam uh,
Mm-hmm.
penetrates a certain part of the energetic body.
Right. So like
Wow.
this is the tip of the penis and
Yeah.
this is the back of the cervix. It
Yeah.
has to match like this.
Yeah.
So the polarities can hit. So the back of the cervix would be your spiritual body. That's why years ago they were like, don't let them hit the bottom because now you're going to be
That
addicted
constant.
to them.
Yeah.
You know, and the more
Yeah. Yeah.
pressure, you
Just
see what I'm
constantly. Right.
saying?
Right.
And then don't let him look in your eyes. Don't let him look in your eyes, girl. You're stuck. If he looks in your eyes, he loves you. And you just think about the mapping of what's happening. It's fascinating. I'm a nerd out. Let me
That
not do it.
that is so interesting because it's like when you look into the eyes, I've read that gazing into a man's eyes, you can also stimulate ovulation.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
My
Oh.
partner told me the other day that a lot of guys prefer to do back shots because if they look women in the eye, the girl's gonna think that they love them. So they don't
Mm.
even if they prefer
Yo.
missionary, they'll do back shots just so they know
To
to not be connected.
to touch. Right. Right.
Isn't
Yo.
that
Wow.
crazy?
Yeah.
That's
Yo.
crazy.
I believe. I believe it 100%. I believe it 100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So back to iridology. So I had one question, two questions actually.
Mhm.
With the illness, like you said, that the iris is mapped in the womb and stuff like that. You're looking at baby's eyes to see like what kind of issues they're going to have.
Mhm.
Can you tell which parent the issue came from by looking in the eye?
Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a photo of a male iris on my stories right now, where it's certain way the color and patterns of the markings in the iris can note whether it's an inherent weakness or a weakness that has been created in your
Mm,
your life, like your lifetime, during
mm,
what things that you've done. So if it's like
mm,
a rigid line, that indicates inherent weakness. And so the
mm,
left iris will more so connect to what the maternal side, left, is
mm,
more so connected to feminine principle. The right side is more connected to the masculine principle. So
Right.
any kind of rigid lines in a specific area, like in my stories, talking about men's health a little bit, because of course this is still men's mental health month.
Right.
So I had put it on my stories that there was an inherent weakness of the thyroid left in a
Mm.
left side of the iris. So yeah,
Wow.
certain markings depending on the pattern, the like if it's rigid, the color, and what side, right or left, will detail or note if it's from mother's side or father's side. But doesn't
Mm.
necessarily mean it came from mother or father, but that side of the family. Well, the grandparent, uncle, cousin. So yeah, it goes deep
I like
with this, and
it.
I'm constantly learning because I learn from all my clients. I tell my clients all the time, you are my students.
Same
The
here.
clients are our students because I've seen hundreds of irises. I think I've
Mm.
seen over not a yeah, when I looked in my Zooms, over 500 irises since starting, and I've learned so much from children to the elders of all the irises that I've seen. So yeah,
Wow.
iridology and the science of it is looking at the iris for colors, patterns, the shapes, based and be able to tell what stage a person's health is in, whether it's in an
Mm.
acute stage or degenerative stage. So
Mm.
a lot of people ask me, can you see cancer in the iris? Well, we don't name it cancer. I don't name diseases, but I do make it a point to let my clients know, hey, this is a degenerative challenge that we need to act on now. So it will
I
show
like
a
it.
black, like in any kind of iris that would like any kind of black inside the iris. It will show black markings, and that can usually indicate tumor activity.
Mm. I like it. Thank you so much. That was really good. For everybody who's just joining us, or if you're enjoying this conversation and you'd like to know more about how this stuff can integrate together, y'all check out this webinar. The link is in the bio. It's free. Y'all register for it. Yeah, this is really, really good. And I'm doing my best not to ask personal questions because like I said, I'm personally interested. But you put on your Instagram about like disease not necessarily being real or calling it something else. Like, can you go into that,
Yes,
please?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that. Yes, because that, you know, I recently did a live on my YouTube, and I had said our ancestors we never had names of diseases. Your ancestors never named diseases because all of these phenomenons are really new. It's
Mm-hmm.
when the Great Fall happened and the shifts and on the planet, and the body began to degenerate. So really the body of the average
Mm.
human is based upon the energetic resonance of where the earth's frequency is, but also more degenerating because of the foods we're eating, the sugars, the thoughts that we have, but we keep giving light to that doesn't need to constantly grow in that aspect. So what I mean by not naming disease names, if you really look up the root word, is just naming your symptoms. That's really
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
said, yeah.
categorizing your symptoms into one word. So if you look at diabetes, right? People constantly say, I have diabetes, but diabetes, the root word goes into meaning urinate a lot.
Mm.
That is a symptom of a pancreatic malfunction where the
Mm-hmm.
pancreatic cells are not um,
Keep
they're
the
not
down.
the insulin, the glucogen, where it's supposed to balance the blood glucose, is not functioning correctly. So
Mm.
it's not really going into the actual disease, but the symptom,
I said,
right? So you
yeah.
look at different disease names, and that's what you'll find. So we really have to go into understanding the body so that we know how to go into that specific organ and ultimately, regenerate it, because every organ is can be regenerated. But first we have to
Absolutely.
understand the resonance of each organ.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree. And I was actually writing some notes about this earlier. And you know, a couple of things I kind of want to talk about, but I want to start with how things have changed a little bit, right? So as we have gotten away from our regular diet, gotten away from our relationship with the earth and stuff like that, our energy body has totally been thrown off. And one thing that I have noticed in people, let me take that a different way. For all my healers out there, people who are interested in chakras and stuff like that, we talk about balancing chakras, but it's more than balancing. It's also calibrating. Like there's a certain type of energy we're supposed to be getting from the earth. And if our root chakra is not calibrated to match and receive that, then our grid is going to get off. And it's going to leave way for all these different um, malfunctions and or morphic, mutations and stuff like that to happen within our system. You know what I mean? And it can be so specific to the point where if you're trying to be more creative in life or you're trying to get certain information, you can get your root chakra to orient with the earth to assist you and promote that kind of information and that kind of energy coming to you, right? And then also, like we're talking like diabetes and stuff, you want to also look at your meridians and your kidney, bladder, urinary stuff. And there are 12 energy release meridians. And the kidney, bladder, urinary tract is one of them. So your body, your energy body was designed to release in certain ways, like certain channels. So when we don't process our emotion, it gets backed up in these channels and it hardens down into physicality. And then, like she said, your eyes gonna pick it up first, and then your body's gonna come get the rest of it. And the next thing you know, we're not changing any of the things that actually caused it. We're just like putting a little bit of band.
Yes.
Here.
Bend it here. Yes.
That's it.
Patching
That's
it up.
it. And then you wonder why it's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wholeness. It's a wholeness. It's a beautiful thing. And also the world we live in, as we know, it's not natural. Granted, we have progressed in a lot of ways, but we have also regressed in a lot of ways. And like you guys know, I'm tantric shaman, so I'm trying to take the whole tantric conversation outside of the sexual realm and let people know that it's a way of harmonizing all things. And every group of people, every indigenous person, all of them had a way of harmonizing with the world around us. That means internally, externally, with the land, all of the stuff, and your body is designed that way. So in Africa, we didn't call it Tantra. In North America, we didn't call it Tantra, but all of our systems were taken away and stuff like that. So what we can call Tantra is what is the closest thing we can see. So the Indians still have a system that's still put together and still running, and we can call it that. But don't think that this type of stuff is not yours, guys. Like all of these different systems, like we're gonna go into the martial arts thing next. One of my major mentors, most of my mentors are martial artists, right? Because they deal big into magic and they do big into energy movement, right? And they'll tell you, like, when you go into the deeper temples, you'll look and there's like dark skinned people with curled stuff, like the images curled. If you go into the Indian temples, Lakshmi, black. You see what I'm saying? This stuff belongs to us, and I don't ever want you guys to separate your physical health from your mental health to your emotional health to the health of the earth that's sustaining you, that's making the food that you got to put in your body, right? Not to take anything for granted, because everything goes into your wholeness. And that's a tangent that I just had to have. So,
It's definitely a tangent, a rant that we needed, because I think we have this idea that we have to fragment parts of ourselves, like things that we like, right? And then this whole spiritual community has now turned into a religion. So if we talk a certain way, God damn, if we talk a certain way, oh, you're not supposed to talk like that because you're supposed to be this, but you put me in the box. So it's like, we're supposed to be and express ourselves, like you said, in our wholeness. We all have a uniqueness to us, and whatever that looks like to you, express it fully with whatever that is, because if you don't, you lock that in, and then that's when people with thyroid issues, throat issues, respiratory challenges locks up in there. So you right on point, sis. I'm right with you.
I'm good for a tangent now.
Yeah, I'm right with you.
Yeah, it's real. It's real because like some of the clients that I run into that have some of the worst conditions are the least appreciative of life, least considerate. They're just kind of, I don't know if you ever watched 600-Pound Life, My 600-Pound Life or something like that. If you notice, a lot of them have very, very bad mentalities. They are not grateful for life, period. So they're not grateful for their body enough to take care of it or to hear from themselves. And it's an epidemic. We take a lot of things for granted. And as somebody who's come into this conscious community and nobody's trying to talk about sex. Nobody's trying to have it.
Yeah. I ain't
I
gonna
don't
lie,
get
I was
invited
one of them
nowhere.
people. I was one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being completely honest. And it's like when I think the point when I started saying, yo, like it's natural. It's us. It's part of it's like it was such a oh my god, like you really like I used to hang out with girls that was they were very expressive. Like
Yeah.
they wanted it, and they was not holding back. And I used to always admire women like that because I'm like, wow, you just just very expressive. And now I just look at it like it's something that it's not taboo, So I'm
Right.
really I want to learn more about tantra and all even what you were explaining with the different parts of the lingam and how it penetrates certain bodies or emotional bodies. So I'm
Yeah.
interested because I'm
Yeah.
getting out of that box of
Man.
that's the box where we got speaking on that, I know you have questions, but I
No,
have a
yeah,
few
no.
questions too.
Let's go
Back
for it. Let's get it.
in the 60s era, when my mom was growing up, 70s and 60s, they didn't talk about
Right.
sex. um they would like kind of my grandmother, she would be like, no, don't worry about it, don't ask me about it. And so they didn't really learn how to take care of their yonis, wash and even women don't even look at their own yonis,
Right.
right? So
Right. Right.
what do you think about that? Like how like women just being shameful of looking at their own bodies, talking about their bodies in that way, like that, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that question. And for those who don't know me, I'm very candid and I'm going to say all the words that I mean to say, right?
Please.
And what I'm going to say is that the pussy has been
Hmm.
weaponized against us and against men. Against it's been weaponized, and we have been trained that it's a liability, that it's a tool, that is something that makes people want to take advantage of us. That is itchy and squishy and all of these different things like little because I was there as well. And what I'm going to tell you guys is that your body is not an apology. Your womb space, yoni, vulva, all of that stuff is a direct gateway to everything you want to know, to do, and to have. It's tied to your throat chakra and your expression in life. So if you notice people who are actually practice tantra, they are very animated and full, and it's your energy working through you and the fact you're not repressing. So tantra is one of the only systems that uses life as a method of meeting the divine and knowing the divine, right? So I was raised Christian, like I say all the time. I saw God for real more in 2 years practicing tantra than I did the whole time I was in church. And then the whole Christian thing came back around and met me in tantra. You see what I'm saying? Like Jesus came and talked to me in tantric experiences. You know what I mean? So like it has nothing to do with religion or anything else like that. Like you are divinely made, just like it says. You are powerful, and the most wisest thing for a colonizer or an oppressor to do is to separate you from your power. So if the hate of the body,
Yes.
right? So the
Hmm.
hate of the body is so real. And I was talking about the vagus nerve briefly and the last thing, but your body is communicating to your brain more than your brain communicates to the body. You see what I'm saying? Like through the vagus, there's four
Yeah.
receptors, right? And it's
Yeah.
like two that come down this way before going up.
Hmm.
So your body is feeling everything in the environment around you. They say you have five senses. You have far more than that. So you have sight, taste, touch, smell, right? But you also have the awareness of your joints in empty space, right? You have the ability to understand or feel what's going on within your body. You have spatial awareness. All of those things are senses, not just these ones. And you can use that to pick up information within your body, within sexual experiences, right? So we start off the conversation talking about the holographic nature of this universe and of our body. When you start saying that your genitals are dirty or sex is dirty, which all of us came out of,
Hmm.
right? Because it's going back to colonization of Christianity and the bad way, not the good Christianity, the bad Christianity that told us everybody was dirty, that you were born in sin, right? So you're the way that to make sex dirty is the only way they could validate the fact that you were born in sin, was the only way to validate you are not perfect. And all of that shit is a lie. All of that shit is a lie, family. It's all a lie, guys.
Wow. Wow. I never
That shit
made
fucked
that
up.
connection. Wait, so making sex dirty is what we came from sex. So it's like we are born automatically into sin.
Into sin.
Wow.
It's the
Wow. I've
only
never,
way, bro.
wow.
It's the
Wow.
only way.
Wow.
And I tell people all the time, like, you're either going to master your sexuality or you're going to be a slave to it. So you see
Mm.
that people in high religious places have an issue with sexuality, not just in the Christian area. You got Bikram over here. A lot of the Hindu temples, you got stuff going over there. What was it, like 7 years ago, some Buddhist temple got raided for selling meth and shit, and all kind of stuff
Wow.
going on back there. Like, it's all across the board, because when you start raising your kundalini, it raises all the bad things too.
Mm-hmm. It's like they
It's
suppress that part of themselves, and like we talk about the fragmentation,
yes.
breaking up the parts of self that you like about yourself, but you call it dirty, so you try to throw it away. Wow.
All
Yeah.
their oppression, all their oppression is just gonna force it to come back to you stronger. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
push something, it's gonna that's all it is. It's all
Mm-hmm.
scientific, and that's why Tantra is so important, because we are allowing ourselves to embrace fully. We embrace our light side and our dark side, so we don't have to shun none of this when it comes back to bite us.
Yes. Yes.
That's
You hit it. You
what
hit it. You
it
hit it. Yes, I do. I do that with.
is.
I do that with
No.
my students in the detox course. Yo, you hit it. I love how you said that. You said bracing both sides so it don't come back.
That's it.
Yo,
That's
I
it.
hope y'all got that, family. I hope you gonna be teaching this on the webinar.
Probably not, but I might, because different. But I will be teaching in the class though,
Yes.
for real, because this time around, because I'll be honest, this stuff I got is kind of new. It's like rediscovered, and in the process of that, I rediscovered some of my lineage and all this other stuff, right? So in the last classes I've done, it's been really good, but now I really want to unpack this real legitimate tantra that's coming forth, and the energy that goddess is bringing. And the whole goal, I said, is to connect and create more understanding, more awareness, and all this other stuff. And I just really want to go in this time. So the webinar is to give people more information about the class, about how this can improve all of your modalities. So like, no matter what you do, it can help you. If you're an accountant, it can help you. Like, you can use it in any area. So the purpose of tantric body work is so that your non-physical body can get in the game and you can practice operating it. For the person who's on the table receiving the quote unquote healing, their energy body is doing the work on them, and they're just in a place where they're allowing that to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're really like just driving ourselves until we're really driving ourselves, and then things start getting really wild. Yeah, it's cool. So whether people want to do tantric body work as a profession or whatever else, just apply it to your life, apply it to how you interact in business. And because if you can read energy, you can negotiate a heck of a contract. You see what I'm saying? You can know who to talk to in the room and who not to talk to in the room, to who's going to open the door for you and who's not going to open the door for you. You see what I'm saying? We can do. We look at energy real small, like, the crystal. But like, if you have your own personal power, you can power the crystal more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fuel, and tantric body work is a way for you to practice using that fuel. It's a beautiful thing.
Wow.
So,
wow,
yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to dive into it more. You said that's the webinar that's the Tantra class.
That's the Tantra class. I'm going into all of that, but the webinar, I'm going to tell people a little bit more about it, and answer some questions and hit some talking points, so people can really, really have a good idea of how to bridge this stuff. So I am going to talk about the bridging in the webinar.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
Sure.
We can get on that. Yeah.
Yeah, please do. We got to do something soon.
Yes, I was while you were talking, I was brainstorming like we got to do something like in Atlanta. I know you in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so I will be relocating sooner than I thought. Yes, I am. I'm ready. It's time for me to soar. So sooner than I thought, I will be down there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are you gonna be down here before August?
Ooh, most likely October.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'll be down there in August for Brother Rich's the Gathering of the Masses.
Okay,
I
okay.
remember that.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get a ticket. Maybe I should put me on the guest list because I know all of y'all.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, the place where they're having it is right across the street from my office, Black Wall Street. So
Oh. Oh
yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Dang.
yeah. Literally, it's like literally right across the way. So I'm like, yeah, I might pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So for everybody who does take the class, we're having a 4-day tantric intensive in Atlanta as well, where we're going to be going in. Most of the class is going to be online for the 6 weeks. And the reason for that is because, like I just said, this gives the opportunity for your energy body to really, really get in the game and your divine guidance, your spirit guides, whatever else, all of that stuff, your higher self to really get in the game. And it does. So prior when I was doing the class, it was kind of going wild. So let me do it this way. I just want you guys to have a time to really get, and indoctrinate is the wrong word, to really experience the experience of Tantra, So definitely sign up for the class, sign up for this webinar so y'all can get all the details about it and I can answer all of your questions. So a couple more questions and I will let you have your day. How much time you got?
Girl, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I have a couple questions. I'm going to check a couple questions. This is really good. We need to do some more of
Yeah.
these. All right. So spiritual weight loss. I lost 60 pounds without exercising through like visualizing and manifesting. So can you
Mm.
talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I remember I did that live last year with Brother Rich.
Mm,
Yes, so
yeah,
when we went into that, the spiritual weight loss, it happens first. It starts here in the mind first. And when you said that you lost 60 pounds without exercising, it was
hmm
more so like the mind and the
yeah.
mental
So
work.
I would visualize this before I even learned energy work. I would visualize the conversations I would have with people being a smaller size, or I
Mm.
would visualize the comments I would get from men being a smaller size or whatever else. And then from that, I started getting more knowledge of self, and I started changing like things like high fructose corn syrup, or start cutting gluten and like different things like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't even realize I was losing weight until my pants just weren't fitting.
Wow, wow. So that's sort of like what we were discussing in that live was more so it starts mentally first. Because if
Hmm.
we go out and we say, "Oh, I want to lose 20 pounds," and we
Yeah,
start like we're excited at first, and we start doing all these things, changing our lifestyle, we start exercising, and then next thing you know, something just happens in our path where it's a trigger and it triggers us
yeah,
to eat the same way. So it's sort of like what you were saying before, embracing the light and dark side. So what I do with my clients in my program is understanding weight loss is just the beginning. You're going to gain so much from this journey,
hmm
other than just the waste, or the it's just really waste that's leaving the body.
hmm
So we have to first penetrate the mind. What was the cause of us losing ourselves, letting ourselves get to a certain frequency where it was allowed to put on x amount of weight. So we have to acknowledge that, because if we
hmm
don't,
hmm
we kind of put it to the back burner, and then one trigger, and then we become recidivists. So
Yeah.
my job with my clients is to help them to not become recidivists, so that they're understanding their different kind of frequencies and the moods. Moods are so important to honor, whether it's
hmm
the mood that you're in, whether it's the loss of a loved one that you're reminiscing about, or the job that you're in you don't like, and you get into these moods. But what happens, we stay there, we sit on the couch, we eat chips and ice cream,
hmm
stay there.
So food.
Right. So it's important to honor that mood. Like, yeah, I'm in a mood, but I know this is not gonna stay. It's
Right.
me, right? Honoring me, because this
Right.
is me. You know how people say,
Right.
this ain't me. This
Right.
is not me right now. It is you.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
you. And the
Yeah.
more you keep escaping from that, you're going to keep going back in circles, because you didn't embrace all sides of you. So that's what
hmm
spiritual weight loss is. You must first lose the weight that you're holding on to spiritually, all the doubt, the shame, the guilt,
hmm
the running away from the self. And then you address that, you can address the entire physical aspect of your vessel. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what helps me. I get
Mm-hmm.
in mood. People think that we're perfect, right? Because we have this this light on us. We have
Mm-hmm.
we're teachers, we're healers, so we go through things too.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
just in a mood
Yes.
a few
Yeah.
months ago. My
Mm-hmm.
mom transitioned almost 3 years ago, so sometimes I think
Mm-hmm.
about her and I'll sit there and I'll just like eat a bunch of vegan food and vegan food, like vegan comfort food, okay? And then next thing I know, I'm like, oh man, I stopped my practices, my
Yeah.
yoga, Pilates,
Yeah.
all of these things.
Yeah.
So now what I do, I'm in the mood, I honor it, move on, and I still stay the
Mm-hmm.
course of my self-care and self-love routines.
That's
So
really
that's what it's about,
important.
family. It's about developing a routine that's solid and in your core so that you're keeping up with your energetic body,
Absolutely.
because it's all just it's just all based upon energy, what how you coordinate the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And like to piggyback on that for everybody, it's like we have this idea, especially people that are seeking on the spiritual path, that we're supposed to be like perfect all the time. You're gonna fall off quote unquote meditations. You're gonna fall off all this stuff because you got to think energy ebbs and flows.
Mhm.
There's gonna be times, like you said, you need to honor your grief. Like you trying to get out your grief before it's time is probably is so detrimental. You're gonna break something.
Mm.
Like let yourself go through the process. And this is really what the feminine is. Like the feminine is experience, and we can't run away from the experience. And that's when we get locked in our heads, family. That's what's really, really going on. So you start doing all this ruminating, you start doing all of this stuff, but allow yourself to do that as it's happening, right? But not try to stop it. When you're trying to stop it, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going and keep going. Just let it process through. Because at a certain point, you're just going to get quiet and you're just going to sit. And the tears may have ran and all this other stuff. And you might be tired, but it's going to smooth out. And then you can grab yourself again and then get back on your stretching. Get back, eat something healthy, get your juice, get whatever else. Open the blinds up. Because I know some of y'all sitting there with the blinds closed, not
Mhm.
looking dark and stuff. Like, open that stuff up, go outside, get your little 1, 2, and then the next day try again. And then eventually you'll be back to yourself, back to your norm. So I'm doing a training with Tony Robbins that one of my other groups is sponsoring for me. Shout out to Urban Sage. Check out Urban Sage. That family, we're coming. It's gonna be really good. You might need to be an Urban Sage too.
Oh
You should
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
be a
Ooh, that
sage.
sounds
You should
the
definitely be a
sound. I
sage.
was like, hold on,
Yeah.
you probably pique
Yeah,
my
you got to come
interest.
to Atlanta
Like,
too. You should be a sage for sure. For sure. Mia will love you. But damn, that got off my topic. God, what was I saying?
I think. Wait, what you were saying? You were saying
Hmm.
we were talking about the energetic bodies and honoring all
Yeah, the
those
process that we're in.
processes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. So go through these things because in the process of the ebb and flow of the light and the dark, this is where you learn the mastery. This
Mm-hmm.
is how you learn the mastery. So the next time something comes and knocks you off your square, it doesn't take as long for you to get through it. Or, to talk to your guys, be like, what is the lesson from this? What karma am I breaking in this? What lessons am I putting in my DNA now so my kids don't have to deal with it because mommy is healthily or in a healthy way processing grief versus drinking it. And now I got alcoholism in my DNA. Now I have courage and strength and resilience in my DNA, family.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Like, yeah, think about this stuff deeper, yo.
absolutely. Ashe, Ashe, yeah.
Yeah. So my last question, and I'm gonna take some from them, and I'm gonna let you
Yes,
have it.
indeed.
Yes, because I be seeing the liver detox thing, and I know I need to detox my liver. I already know it. I do, but I feel like entities are tied to parasites.
Mm-hmm.
I remove a lot of negative energies. I was gonna see one, can you see negative entities in people's irises? Two, have you noticed that people's dis uh, disposition changes after doing detoxes, as if like they're a different person, as if they release something negative, like negative energy from them? Like, what's your views on any of that?
Yes. So in the you asked about seeing parasites in the iris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the eye, there's like these, and then that's in the iris itself. The color part of the eye is like these dark lines that it stems from the pupil. The pupillary zone is the colon area. So any kind of markings from that zone will indicate any kind of intestinal toxins or intestinal wall blockages. But those, like, it's like spokes on a wheel that will indicate what is called parasites in the gut. And also, if it goes into the brain head areas, most likely those people have issues with brain fog, anger, because it can also be, there's parasites not just in the gut, but also in the liver, in the brain area. So it can just show those kind of lines in any area of the body and where it's manifested the most. And the reason why it's so important to cleanse and focus on the liver is the liver, I like to call the chemical factory of the body. All of the waste and the drug medications, everything we eat and take in automatically gets filtered by the liver so that we can have clean blood. But what happens is we're doing all of this every single day, not to mention the Jabberwocky or whatever, right? So, not to mention all of that, constantly hitting and attacking the body, attacking the liver. Because you got to think, family, in any kind of injection is not normal entry to the body. You're not supposed to inject anything directly into your bloodstream because it has to go through the natural process of breakdown in the digestive system. If you shoot something directly into the blood, you bypass that channel. And now you have all of these different pathogens invading the body, which puts the kidneys, the lymphatics, the circulatory on alert. And you have all of these white blood cells like, yo, I'm here to defend you. But we call it sickness. Arthritis, sore throats, we call it sickness. But this is your army, y'all. Right in effect for you. You understand? So the doing liver flushes, y'all, every quarter or every month if you got a lot of gallstones. Like we just did a group of a liver flush. Amazing. And not only are people seeing results with the weight, because really losing weight is losing waste. People are, I had somebody said, I just signed a new contract at my job. Because remember, you releasing all that waste, you really open up channels for abundance. Right? So it's not just the physical aspect of you getting the cleanse, but your channels to new opportunities, new expansion.
Absolutely.
So that's, doing that liver flush, you're not experience releasing gallstones each time, but you're cleansing your pancreas too, you're cleansing your colon, and you're getting rid of so much sludge that's just been sitting there for meals and meals and meals ago. Yeah. So the liver family, that's, liver, colon, those are things that when you start off a detox, if you've never done it before, you want to do that in its deeper aspect, and the liver flush is the way to go.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Shout out to King Simon just pulled up.
I see, pulled up.
Yeah,
Shout out
that's
to
a
King
boo, man.
Simon.
Yeah, you first put us together. So shout out to King Simon.
Yes.
That's interesting. So, and when I saw this article, I think it was an article, it might be a YouTube video. I thought about you immediately. And I was like, what would she say about that? So I saw some sciencey people saying that detoxing is not real and cannot work and nothing detoxes. Like, what would you say to those people? They say like you can't detox anything.
You can't detox any, once it's in the body, that's it.
I mean, like you can't detox an organ. You can't do this. Now, keep in mind, this person also said that chiropractics was a pseudoscience.
Yeah, those kind of people, they call all of these kind of sciences quackery.
Yeah,
that started in the 1920s when the medical monopoly started taking over natural methods of healing, like chiropractic, midwifery. Matter of fact, if you note, before the 1920s, there was less of an infant mortality rate when Big Mama was birthing the babies. After they marched in with the Rockefellers and the medical monopoly we have today, infant mortality skyrocketed because we have no care anymore. We just pulling these babies out the womb. Even back then, they wasn't even wearing gloves. Did you know that? Like, the
That's
people don't know the history behind this Western medicine. Like, it's crazy.
crazy. Here, I think it was here in Atlanta, like maybe like last month, a doctor got in trouble for pulling a baby's head off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I think I've seen that on Shade Room. Yeah, it was sad. This is in Atlanta. You're right. It was in Atlanta.
it's a
Exactly.
whole thing. It's a whole freaking thing. Like when
Yeah.
I was having my baby, all the everybody at this little group had planned surgeries to get their kids out, like months out. You didn't even want to try to see what the baby was naturally going to come out. It was just, and I'm not
Hmm.
shaming anybody. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you just schedule it like it's like a dentist appointment or something like that.
Hmm.
But I also was going to mention that because you brought something else up. When I was in the military, when I got my first jabs, I had been to the hospital since I was born. After that, I had bouts of narcolepsy. I had ovarian cysts that swelled up and exploded in my stomach like the size of a grapefruit.
Mm.
I had a whole bunch of stuff happen after I started getting those military vaccinations. Not the ones that not for COVID or
Right.
nothing, but like regular military things to go overseas. And I never, I put two and two together a while ago, but you just reminded me about how much my health life changed when I started getting those military inoculations.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just, and it's like there's no way out of it too when you go to
Yeah,
the military.
yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a thing. It's a
That's
thing. It's a
yeah,
thing.
that you put that two and two together because some just, they don't and go through life and then it's like we never make the connection. We
Mm-hmm.
look at it like, oh my God, this just happened out of nowhere. This was universe's will. So, but that's
Mm-hmm.
how I like to call that, the inoculations time capsules. There's
Yeah,
time capsules that they put in it where you may not feel anything now, but 20, 30 years down the line, that's when it manifests itself. So
yeah, for
absolutely.
sure, for
But
sure,
yeah,
for
people
sure.
that who talk about detoxing is this and that. That all stems from that thinking of that all of these natural methods are quackery, and even I had somebody wrote an article on me about a few years ago, when I was part of the panel, back in New York to help save the religious exemptions. And somebody wrote an
Mm-hmm.
article, was like, what is iridology? Another quackery science. It's supposed to be the study of the eye. And I was like, oh my God. Well, all press is good press,
All
right?
praise
I
is
mean, if
good
they ain't
praise.
talking
Take the
about
Derek
you,
Griffin.
you
Yeah,
know, then it ain't, it still got, somewhat of my name out there.
yeah,
So it's like, it for those people,
yeah,
it's just they have no kind of spiritual connection. You
yeah,
know, it's just
yeah,
like
for sure.
nothing clicks with them on that esoteric level. So I just say, it is what
Yeah.
it is. But if for people that want to know more about, I would say like the history of Western medicine, like I would read what's it called? By Murder by Injection by
Mm,
Eustace Mullins. That explains the very beginning of how it all started and why they, chiropractic and all those schools back in that time shut down. They shut
yeah,
it down.
yeah.
Shutting that down is shutting down, you getting that information.
Right. And the trust of yourself, man. The fact that you
Yeah.
think that you can help yourself. Like you're silly for thinking. And that's kind of vibe when you go into hospitals and doctors. Oh, you think you know what's wrong? Where were you on Google? You think, oh,
Oh
you're
God.
healthy today.
Yeah.
Oh, you took a herb.
Yeah.
Like that whole situation. It's crazy. It's crazy. And a couple things, I don't know if people who watch lives and watch us have these conversations really understand how much we put into this stuff, because to put yourself out there for people to talk bad about you and this and that, for you to champion something that people think is silly. Like I put up a video and somebody like, what is this ghetto Reiki? Like what is this? Or you're a witch, you
Yeah.
need to die, you need this, you need that. And all the people from the therapist for this, anybody who's talking about something real that can help you, they receive some kind of backlash, and I don't really think people take that in consideration, right? So that's one little thing. And then second, just to bring things back full circle, like all of this stuff from, like we said, talking about inoculations, and now your body, years later, your body is doing these things. You may start hating your body, but it wasn't your body's fault. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like all of the a lot of the self hate we have has nothing to do with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It is something we have trained to have, and we are living a life based off somebody else's narrative. And it's time for us to rewrite the story and live based on our own narratives. So whether you're doing iridology, you're doing tantra, you're doing reiki, you're doing whatever else, anything to put the power back in your hands so you can control your narrative for you and for your kids and for the generations coming for this earth is important, and y'all should look into it. So if you're interested, check out this webinar. Check out my sister, Dr. Shakirah Moore, Master Iridologist, Adara Moselle, Master Tantric Shaman, other people up here, King Simon, who can read you like nobody else. The numbers, like the science of the numbers applied to you. Like it's crazy. And some other people up here. We have some very powerful people in our community, family. And if you don't know anything about it, just say look into it. Just look into it, man.
Just dive into it just a little bit, and then you start, applying it little by little,
Little by little,
not,
man.
it's just not, don't overwhelm yourself, but just, and this webinar that you're doing is the start. So I definitely encourage y'all to tap in, because, especially with mastering our sexuality, we definitely, it's a must, because it's, like you said, it's connected to our business, how we talk to people. We could control the room, and I mean, when it's like so much to learn. So I appreciate you, sis. Like, it's so much to learn in all aspects of these modalities. So I'm so grateful to be here.
This was great. I had a great time. We should have more time. But I definitely want to do this again. Like I have more questions. I was like, let's not give the people too much. But I have a list. I'm almost 40. I gotta write shit down.
Listen, I do that too. I'll be writing those questions down.
For real, because y'all see it, man. My mind is like all over the place, and I used to get self-conscious about myself going on tangents, but I found out that's also how my channeling started. So just some of the things that we're self-conscious about, family, like things that you think makes you weird or is not perfect, that might be your gateway to your gifts, man. So all of that. Letting the people know how to find you, give them any last words, anything you want to know.
Yes. I'm on Instagram at Holistic Hope, WHOLISTIC Hope. You can click on it if you're on this live right now. My YouTube channel is Holistica, the Master Iridologist. I do try to do YouTube videos every week on different topics. The last topic I did was the truth about childhood eczema and its relation to the liver. So y'all want to check that out. That's a recent video. What else? My website is holisticapalace.com, HOLISTICA palace.com, and that's when you can schedule an iridology consultation. I have different herbal blends, different packages and programs that you can access for you to, develop your cells and help you to heal thyself, and what it looks like for you. Not me telling you, but showing you your own way of healing system. And that's it. That's it.
Well put together. Once again, family, Shamanic Live Contra class starts July 14th. Sign up for the webinar now to get more info. And I look forward to seeing y'all, and we'll be back with some more. So this is a pleasure to stay this live, and I can't wait till the next one.
Yes, I cannot wait. Thank you so much, sis, for the invite.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And hit me up sometime.
Definitely will. Peace and love, family. Peace and love, sis.
Peace and love. Bye.